Good evening and welcome to the Rory Talks Football channel. It is good to have you back today. Lots to get into, mainly a transfer news-based stream today. And lots of it, obviously, we're a few days away from the Arsenal-Newcastle game, so we'll start ramping to that over the next couple of days. But lots of transfer stuff to get into today. And, of course, your daily Arsenal news, updates, reactions, and my opinion. Tom, George, Finn, good to see you in the YouTube chat. Please do drop a subscription if you're new here. We hit 2,000 subscribers yesterday, so the next step is 3,000 subscribers on this road to whatever it might be. Arteta's right toe says Rory Tory or Tory Rory. Classic. It rhymes, so it's brilliant. Thoughts on Zubamendi to Arsenal? We'll talk about that today. One report suggesting that Martin Zubamendi is close to agreeing to come to Arsenal. Do I play football? I do play football. In fact, on Saturday, I will be playing in a content creator charity game thing at Worthing. So there will be a live stream for that if you want to watch me play football. Look, if you want to learn how a proper number 6 operates, tune in. I'm a Spurs fan, but I'm still low-key happy for Arsenal to do well, since you're a proper club with proper fans, unlike City, Chelsea and United. Well, noble. I mean, that is a noble thing to say. Fair play to you. Gabriel, my pace is non-existent, but it's all about understanding the game. Makes up for the lack of pace. There's no news on Gabriel yet. We have no idea. I'm good, thank you, Bucket Hat Sam. I hope you are too. But look, there's lots to get into. Gabri Veiga, Orkan KOCKU. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I think it is KOCKU. An update on Reiss Nelson from Fabrizio Romano. A couple of odds and sods. And, of course, guess the Gooner. So let's get into it. Gabri Veiga is the headline. He's the thumbnail. He's in the title. Who is he? He's a Spanish 20-year-old. And this report coming from AS.com. Now, look, first of all, AS.com is a probably tier 3 source. It's not great. It's not a great source. But what they're saying is interesting, and it kind of fits in. So could be one of those that a reporter's kind of just looked at what Arsenal are doing and thought, well, that player fits the bill. Let me make up a rumor about him. But there could be some, there could be some truth to it. So according to them, Gabri Veiga is now very likely heading to the Premier League, and he likes the look of Arsenal. And Manu Sainz, the reporter, said that Celta Vigo's promising midfielder Gabri Veiga is keen to join Arsenal and work under manager Mikel Arteta. The club in England that he likes the most, which we published a while back, is Arsenal. And he adds that Veiga would have an advantage at Arsenal. He enjoys the football Arsenal play, and he would like to work with Mikel Arteta. Look, it's understandable. A Spaniard wants to work with a Spanish manager. Who is he? He's a 20-year-old right-footed attacking midfielder. Broke into the Celta Vigo team this year. He's come through their academy. He's got a good weak foot. I was watching a highlight thing of him. Kokcu is pronounced Kokcu. Yeah, but Kokcu just sounds... Surely it's not pronounced Kokcu. I'm not calling it Kokcu. He's getting called Kokcu for the rest of this stream, that's for sure. Where was I? Yes, so decent weak foot from the highlights that I saw. He's got 9 goals and 4 assists in 35 appearances so far this season, which for a 20-year-old, to even have played 35 appearances this season is pretty impressive for a 20-year-old. And he's been deployed as an 8 and a 10. So, look, this fits into basically the Mason Mount, Emil Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, the player that can play as an 8 and a 10. He is that guy. He's also 6 foot tall, which is slightly different to the other profiles of player that we've been looking at for that position. So I think it's a really interesting one. Obviously, he's young. I know how to pronounce a Turkish last name. I don't doubt you, but I'm just not saying Kokcu all stream. Smith-Rowe 6 foot. I don't think is he 6 foot? I reckon he's like 5'10". So yeah, look. It's another one of these players. Clearly, the one thing to be sure about is that we're looking for someone to fit that role, to probably a backup to Ødegaard, which may never be Fabio Vieira based on how he's played this season. Now, I don't want to rule out Fabio Vieira completely. Kivior is an example of you can't always judge a player based on Europa League performances and substitute performances. But Vieira has had more opportunity than Kivior, and he's not really taken those opportunities so far. So, yeah, it'd be an interesting one if we are looking into it. Looks like a good player, truthfully, from the highlights that I saw. I think like 5 of the 6 goals that I saw on the highlights were from outside the box as well. Absolute banger from outside the box. Google says he's 6 foot. I wouldn't always trust Google. It's the correct way to saying it. That's like saying Modric is Modric. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. He might not be Jordan. We don't know. Yeah, Gabriel might still be all right. Gabriel might still be all right. We haven't had an update, but we've not seen and we've not had any pictures from training, and we've not had any reports. So we've kind of just got to go with it. Do you think Arsenal will loan Smith Rowe? No. If Smith Rowe either gets sold or he's part of the plans for next season. I don't see him going out on loan. Rather Mount, anyways. Yeah. Look, I actually think Mason Mount wouldn't be a bad option. I'm good, thank you, Tom Burton. Hope you are too. So that's Gabri Veiga. We'll wait for more reports on him because, like I said, it's not a great source that's reporting on it so far. And the next one is Orkan KOCKU or Kokcu, depending on who you are and who you ask. But look, on him, this is coming from Feyenoord legend Johan Boskamp. Who obviously has connections to Feyenoord, being a Feyenoord legend. He said, the way I hear it, he goes to Arsenal. They want a replacement for Granit Xhaka. When you hear those amounts, 35 million, I don't think he will stay with us. So that's interesting. Roughly 35 million. As a replacement for Granit Xhaka, I'd see it as being competition for Granit Xhaka. Who is he? 22-year-old central midfielder, Turkish-born, plays at Feyenoord, came through the Feyenoord Academy. Right-footed, 12 goals, 5 assists in 42 games this season. Again, one of these players that plays every game. He's 22 years old. He's already played 171 times for Feyenoord's first team. And I can see it. Look, I do think we are looking to have an upgrade or replacement for Granit Xhaka this summer. To me, that seems like a cheaper backup alternative to Declan Rice. I have a lot of good things about him. I follow a guy called Jack on Twitter, who's a Man United fan and analyst, and he's been absolutely frothing over this guy for quite a while. So there is definitely a player there. Whether or not we go for him, like I said, I think that's one of those ones where it's like, if we don't get Rice and we're looking for a backup, then maybe we go for him. And again, it fits the bill of we are looking for a Granit Xhaka replacement, and that might not be a bad one. 12 goals and 5 assists isn't bad either, considering, we've been very happy with Granit Xhaka's output of, 6 goals and 7 assists Granit Xhaka's on? 12 goals and 5 assists is even better. Ugarte going to Liverpool. I'd actually quite like Ugarte. I don't know where he's going. Do you think Arsenal will lose to Newcastle? No, I've got a feeling it's going to be a draw, though. I do think it's going to be a draw. We've got an update on Reiss Nelson. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. Pretty similar to what we heard when we were on stream last night, but Reiss Nelson has rejected the first new contract offer or proposal made by Arsenal, but negotiations remain ongoing and the final decision will not be made until the end of the season. Nelson's been approached by many clubs in England and also from abroad over a potential free